name is Dr. Esther Trufan, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to titrate a sodium hydroxide solution with hydrochloric acid, a solution from a charged burette. We will be using phenolphthalein as the indicator of choice for today, and we will be titrating from a dark magenta all the way to the palest color. For today's experiment, we're going to use a charged burette. This has been charged with hydrochloric acid solution. We will be using a prepared sodium hydroxide solution, and this may be of any concentration. But today I prepared a 0.15 molar sodium hydroxide solution. For titrations, we want to use a 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. And to it, we're going to add a known volume of our sodium hydroxide solution, which today we will be adding between 15 and 20 milliliters. The indicator for today will be phenolphthalein, and I have some in this dropper bottle. Now, in order for a burette to be properly charged, we want to make sure that there is a line of solution from all the way to the top to all the way to the bottom, and that the bottom tip is also coated in solution, which we see that this one isn't. So in this case, we want to get a waste container, which I have here, raise our burette, and then release just enough of our hydrochloric acid solution so that our tip fills with the hydrochloric acid solution. And it almost shows up as this invisible thing, which is exactly where we need it to be. With everything set up, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get our sodium hydroxide solution, use a graduated cylinder. Today, I will be using the 25 milliliter graduated cylinder because I am aiming for a volume of sodium hydroxide solution between 15 and 20 milliliters. So I'm going to open up. I will use 2 fingers to remove the cap of my volumetric flask. And then I am going to pour in between 15 and 20 milliliters into my graduated cylinder. Okay. I will put the cap back on and lower myself to eye level and record the volume of my sodium hydroxide solution, which is 19.20 milliliters. I will take all my sodium hydroxide solution, transfer it into my Erlenmeyer flask, set the graduated cylinder to the side, and then I will add a drop of my phenolphthalein indicator. If 2 fall in, that's okay too. We just don't want to add too much. And this turns into a fairly vibrant magenta colored solution. Then I am going to go to my burette. I am going to lower the meniscus of my solution to my eye level as much as possible. And then I'm going to record the starting volume of my hydrochloric acid solution. And it is 1.45 milliliters. And we always record the volume of the solution in a burette with 2 decimal places. So we started at a 1.45 milliliters. This is our starting volume. We're going to record our end volume. And from the difference of the two, we'll know how much of the hydrochloric acid solution was consumed. And here we go. At first, we can add the hydrochloric acid fairly confidently. If we know the concentration of the hydrochloric acid, we can estimate how much of the hydrochloric acid solution needs to go in there. My solution is 0.1 molar. So that means I should consume about 27 milliliters, but this is just a rough estimate. And I can go more confidently until the color turns more pale, and then I will go much, much slower. It is important that we swirl the Erlenmeyer flask rather gently, not very vigorously, so that the only thing we capture is the reaction and we mix it well. Okay, we're getting closer. The color is less pronounced, and now I can move on to a more vigorous dropwise addition that can be slowed to a slower dropwise addition. You want to get to as pale as possible, but still somewhat magenta. If you go to completely clear, you may want to restart your process and add your hydrochloric acid in smaller increments. Now that we have completed our titration, we can record the final volume on the burette. and we get ourselves eye level to the meniscus, and we find that it is 30.42 milliliters. At this point, we have consumed the majority of the hydrochloric acid solution in our burette. If we need to do additional titrations, it is a good idea to fill it back up to just under the 0 mark, and then we are ready for our next titration.